This episode of the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast is brought to you by the Podcast Reach System. Are you ready to exponentially reach more profitable customers? Launching and hosting your own show is your proven best solution for networking, client attraction, and establishing your celebrity expert brand. Visit www.podcastreachsystem.com and claim your rightful place as the leading star of your industry so you make a difference for your community, market, and audience. Welcome to the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast. Join us as we celebrate entrepreneurs, business creators, and brilliant minds who reveal what they are doing to make the world a better place by being part of it. Be sure to visit our website at www.brilliancepluspassion.com. While you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now sit back, lean in, tune in, get your notepad and 2 pens ready, and let's get started.
My name is Adam Homey. I am your host, and I am honored by your wise decision to tune in and invest in yourself today. Right now, we're speaking with Paul Guyon, and let me tell you about him. He's the former chief information officer of a $53 million international logistics firm. He's a believer, a father, and an implementalist. He takes his faith seriously and applies his faith to all aspects of his life. He teaches authors, small business owners, and entrepreneurs, I'm almost answering question number 2 here, how to grow their businesses by implementing smart marketing and technology, keeping their faith and core values at the center of their growth and lives. Paul makes his home in Kingsley, Michigan, and enjoys an active, healthy lifestyle with his wife, Sharon, and their family of 6. He has a passion for business, music, drumming, community service, and his faith in God. And as he likes to say, any day I get to spend with family is a good day. Paul Guyon, welcome aboard. It's so great to have you here.
Thanks. It's great to be here, Adam. I couldn't have written a better interview myself. Or introduction, yeah.
That was pretty good. I'm afraid you're going to halfway put me out of business here, but we're going to go through questions 1 and 2 anyway, because I know there's more. So the first one, of course, is how does the work you do make the world a better place for your clients, customers, and society at large?
Okay, well, you touched on a few things. I teach business owners how to grow their businesses, keeping their faith and core values at the center of their business. And this kind of helps ward off the temptation of corruption and greed, which is so rampant in today's world, which in turn makes the world a better place for their clients, suppliers, and their families. Ethical businesses, I believe, are rewarded with loyalty, and with loyalty there comes growth. And I don't mean just loyalty of their clients. I mean loyalty of their suppliers, and as well as their employees if they have them. So it's really important that you run an ethical business. And really, that's what I've always encouraged the people I work with to do. It just makes more sense. For instance, if you don't mind, one of my clients has imports from China, and their competitors they're basically lying about what commodities they're importing, so they're getting a tax break on the duties and taxes, and that's just not ethical to do. And plus, it's illegal. So those suppliers, at some point, they could get hurt. They get hurt because sometimes they lose the bidding war. But it's still better to take the high road, I believe.
Exactly. So what is it that you actually do?
Well, many things. Like I said, I'm a drummer. I'm also a full-time IT manager for the company I work for, but I provide also one-on-one and group coaching to small business owners who really want to make a difference. For instance, when I first met Nate, he was living paycheck to paycheck working at a local Radio Shack store. Today, he's one of the top-selling realtors in his local market, and 2020, believe it or not, was his best year ever. Today, he's on track to doubling his business to 20 million in 2021, which is amazing. In the real estate market is absolutely crazy. Crazy. So what we did was we worked together to streamline his sales follow-up and lead flow. He really wasn't tracking it. And he told me, Paul, if I can just nail my follow-up, I'll easily double my business. And that's really what he's doing. And so as an example of what he's done over the time I've been working with him, he's found his faith in God. He's got a family of 4. He's got a solid relationship. And he uses these drones to take aerial footage of the area in beautiful northern Michigan. And he raised over $50,000 in food and for the local food bank with his book, In Plain View, which is a photo documentary of the Harbor Springs, northern Michigan area. So that's just one example of the many things that we've been able to accomplish in a short time.
Wow, that's something. So what are the 3 most frequently asked questions you hear from folks who are considering working with you?
Well, as an IT professional, they ask, which laptop should I buy? Or they want me to come over and help hook up their network, their home network. Or, one of my friends from church the other day asked me, Paul, I did Windows update. Now I can't enter my PIN number. So they want me to fix their computer or give them advice about which one to buy or should they keep this 10-year-old computer that's not working any longer? Should they keep trying to upgrade it, or should I just get a new one? So basically they want PC tech advice.
Yeah. What are the 3 questions, or any number of questions, that you wish prospective clients and customers would ask when considering working with you?
Well, I wish they'd asked me how to get more sales and more production from their business without adding a ton of personnel and overhead. Strategic selling, inbound marketing, to do more of what has worked in the past. Or how do I structure my business and streamline it like I did with Nate for optimal deal flow, service delivery, customer satisfaction, and growing it with a conscience. How do I grow it without working myself to death? Creating systems and that sort of thing. So keeping God at the center, of course, which is my mission.
Right. So let's shift gears for a minute and have a little bit of fun with this, shall we? First
Great.
of all, what would people who know you be surprised to learn about you?
My grandfather, Joe Ogichida Guyon, he is an Ojibwe Indian, and he's a professional football star. He was a Native American born on an Indian reservation in Minnesota of the Ojibwe tribe. He was a teammate to the famous Jim Thorpe, and they met and played Pop Warner at Carlisle, the real Pop Warner, not Pop Warner football. They played for
Right.
Coach Warner. And in 1966, he was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame and the College Football Hall of Fame in 1971. He also played for Georgia Tech under John Heisman. The Heisman Award?
Yes.
That's the dude he played for.
Oh, that's pretty interesting. Now, what do you hope people say about you when you're not around to hear it?
Well, that's a tough one. I guess I'm very passionate. If I go all in, I was going to tell you about another part of my story. My background is I was away from my faith for many, many years and pursuing sex, drugs, and rock and roll, literally.
Yeah.
And nearly lost everything, my wife and my family. And one of my friends said to me, man, and I found my faith again. And he goes, man, you go all in, if it's going down the wrong path or the right path. He said, that's amazing. It's like, he says, you're like St. Paul, like Saul, when he was struck blind by Jesus. You just change your life immediately, and you're passionate this way, and that's fantastic. So that's what I like to hear. I like to hear Paul as a faith-filled man with his focus on God and his family.
Wow, that's fantastic. If you could go back in time and change one thing you've done or one thing you've experienced, what would it be and why?
I wish I would have found my faith sooner. I wouldn't really change anything else, but that one change would have changed everything, like it has already.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. What famous person, alive or dead, would you like to meet, and what questions would you ask them if you had the opportunity?
That would have to be Jesus. I would ask him how I could better serve him, my family, and my fellow man, because I want to get to heaven someday. I want him to make me a saint, and I want to know how to do that. And I think I'm doing that.
Right,
And I
right.
want to bring as many people to heaven as I can.
That's great. What motivates and inspires you to keep going when you're having a tough time or facing a challenge?
Well, my trust in God. My spouse encourages me when I'm in doubt or I need some clarity, which is great. And it really is the well-being of my children and family. My relationship with my kids is, like I said, I almost lost it 15 years ago, and when the going gets tough, I have an important why, and that's to be there for them.
Yeah. Again, it seems like you've gone through quite a journey here. And what I admire and commend is your openness to the experience and your invitation of the lessons it's given you and how it's helped you develop as a human being and as a businessman. I think that's great. Now, finally, and I know you have something for our listeners to check out, and we'll get to that in a minute, but in general, right now, what is one action you want our listeners to take as soon as they finish listening to us today?
Well, one of my mentors, Brian Tracy, taught me that begin with the end in mind. So you and I are seeking to make our lives and the lives of our clients better to help them succeed. The end I suggest you consider is the end of your life. Did you make the world a better place? Did you do all you could to make to help those in your care? And I don't mean just your family. I mean your clients who are in your care. And did you do enough to get to the ultimate goal? And that's heaven.
Yeah, that's extremely powerful stuff. So thank you for joining us today, first off. And before you go, I know you have something for our listeners, and let me tell everybody about that. For everybody who's tuning in today, everybody who's catching this later on, I encourage you to go to goldenrollbusinessgrowth.com. That's www.goldenrollbusinessgrowth.com. That's Paul's website. And what you're going to find there is the opportunity to invest in yourself by taking up on Paul's very generous offer of a free Ignite Your Business Growth coaching session. It's a $497 value. It's yours absolutely free. So this is something that's a bit of a personal experience for you. I encourage you to take up on it because I know that Paul's availability is extremely limited. And this is one of those blessings. You'll have the opportunity to speak with him about his work in business, how he can bring his experiences and his knowledge to bear to help you serve your community, market, and audience. And with that, Paul Guyon, thank you so much for being with us today. It's been an honor, and believe me, in education.
Thanks.
Thank you for tuning into the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast, where we celebrate entrepreneurs, business creators, and brilliant minds who are making a difference for their community, market, and audience. Remember to visit our website at www.brilliancepluspassion.com and enjoy even more great episodes like this one. Again, while you're here, subscribe to us via your favorite network. We look forward to seeing you next time on the Brilliance Plus Passion podcast.